All right, welcome back to the Barbell Medicine YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Jordan Feigenbaum. This is my dad, Leonard.
How you doing?
So how old are you again, Dad?
73.
So he's 73 years old. He's about 2.5 months after his second knee replacement, and this is his first time in the gym. When's the last time you were under a barbell?
A long time ago. Probably, I guess it was maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
It's been some time. Anyway, so this is the first time he's been in the gym. We're gonna do some rehab stuff. Obviously, he's walking and talking and doing all this stuff. So has done his immediate post-op PT, and we're gonna do some exercise. So we are gonna follow a version of the beginner prescription that we have. It's on our app. We're gonna do some squats. I don't know what squat he can do yet, so we'll kind of advance from maybe a box type squat or squat to a bench to maybe a goblet squat, to maybe squat with a barbell. We'll see. We're gonna do that for sets of 4. Then we're gonna do some bench press, and then we're gonna do hip thrust. We're gonna see him twice a week for a couple weeks, and then we'll see how long we can keep him engaged here. But yeah, this is me training my dad. All right, so we gotta figure out if you can squat. We're gonna squat to a bench. Now, I know it's been a while since you've actually squatted, so we'll kind of revisit some of the your stance and kind of the mechanics here.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to take about a shoulder width stance with your heels, probably a little wider than that for you. Cool, and your toes are angled out 15, 20 degrees. I'd actually go maybe a hair wider than that for you, just a little bit. Cool. Okay, now I don't want you to move just yet, but we're gonna initiate this movement with your hips and your knees at the same time. And so you have a bench behind you, you can spot that. What I'd like you to do is bend at both your hips and your knees and sit down to the bench. Yep, cool. And now I'm gonna have you put your hands like this on your chest, and stand up. Good. Go ahead and squat down again. Now at the bottom, I'd like your elbows to be inside of your knees.
Oh, okay.
So that's how, because we can't squat perfectly straight up and down, so let's get used to this. Go ahead and squat down. Good, and stand up. And again, and stand up. And let's just go a little bit slower. And all I want you to do is feel your whole foot flat on the floor while you do this. Good, and stand up. Great, so you passed the box squat test, squatting to a bench or a box. Now somebody who wasn't as strong as you or had other issues doing that, we might do a higher box, something like that, but you passed that test just fine. So now we're gonna take the bench away, and I'm actually gonna have you face the camera. So same stance, good, and you're, about shoulder width apart, toes are pointed out. Now before you move, we're gonna do this much slower on the way down, thinking about a 3-second descent. So just watch me do this for a second. I'm gonna squat down 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, get to the bottom, my elbows inside my knees like this. I'm just gonna hold for a second, and then I'm gonna stand up. So the reason we're doing this slowed tempo is so that you can feel your balance flat across the floor. Okay?
Okay, so here we go. 1 1,000.
2 1,000. And just hold there for a second, and stand up. I'm gonna have you just widen your stance just a little bit. There you go. Okay? Same thing.
1,000.
And you're gonna bend over a little more. Hold right there, stand up. Good, and I'm gonna have you look your eyes all the way at the baseboard right there. That's where you're gonna look at. Okay, and squat down. Hold, up. Good, now we're gonna do that. I'm satisfied as a coach that you've done a good job. You're able to keep your balance. No more tempo. So we're just gonna go down, not as fast as you can, but no slow tempo. Same thing, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top, no pause. Again, we'll go a little deeper. Again, a little deeper. Good. So you've passed the test here. You've effectively, we don't need to regress anything from the actual squat pattern. We could probably squat with a barbell. The biggest challenge now is going to be how do we rack the barbell? So we are going to try to put you under a barbell. I'm gonna have you actually loop around here. So this is a standard barbell, 20 kilos, 45 pounds. We want this bar to be right around the middle of the sternum, okay? We don't care about whether this is in a high bar position, that's the bar on top of the spine of the scapula, or a low bar below the spine of the scapula. We just wanna find a comfortable way for you to hold this on your back to see if doing a barbell back squat is something you can train right now. There are other options if not, but because you can squat so well, might as well try with the bar.
Sure.
See the score marks out here? Now you guys can't see this, but on a standard barbell, a power bar, they're 31 inches end to end. Some trash bars in other commercial gyms have marks all over the place. In any case, I want you to start with your index finger here And you're gonna use a full grip, thumbs around grip. And we're gonna try to place the bar up here. Now, if you guys at home, there's a big bony prominence back here. That's C7, cervical vertebra number 7. We don't want the bar on top of that, just underneath that.
Just go underneath it?
Yes, sir. Okay, go ahead and come back from underneath this thing. It's uncomfortable, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's actually raise this up one. Now the only thing we're gonna do now is instead of going all the way around with your hands, we're gonna put your pinky under like that.
My pinky?
Yep. Yep. Cool.
Just like that?
Yep. Pinky under. Go ahead and bend at your knees and your hips. Okay, move to your left. How's that?
Better.
Now here's what I want you to do. Just do this. Yeah. And pick up the bar like you're trying to hold it on your back. Good. Okay, take one step backwards with both feet. All right, now you are not gonna squat until I tell you to squat.
Okay.
Eyes are gonna be down here, probably a little wider stance, a little wider with your stance. Okay, and I will tell you to squat each rep.
Okay.
We are still gonna go slow on this, okay? So a 3-second descent.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Big breath, squat. 2 1,000, 3 1,000, good, up. Same tempo, we'll try to reach a little bit deeper. Squat. Up. Good, squat. Up. Good, one more rep. Squat. Good, up. Rack all the way into the uprights.
You
So
know, the only thing that really bothers me,
is the grip.
no, it's the shoulders.
Yeah, well, holding the bar is what I'm saying.
Holding the bar.
How uncomfortable is it, scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say like a 5.
Yeah, so if you're training your parents or you're watching this and you're like, yeah, that's a non-starter, there are other implements that we can use that actually you hold the bar in front of you. It's called a safety squat bar. So I'm gonna give you one more shot with this barbell to see if you loosen up because you're still cold.
And I think that's all it is.
Yeah, but there are other options.
Yeah.
So there's no, you don't get any extra points or gold stars for suffering. We're using what's called a talon grip, which just means the pinky, and sometimes we'll use even the 4th digit to go under the bar. And then the whole point is you're gonna try to bear all of the weight here, none in your arms. So picking up the bar with your back, holding it on your back, and again, a bar should be right there.
Yeah, okay.
Same thing, we're gonna do a set of 4 here. We'll move to your left, hang on, put it down, move to your left. I'm just making sure you're centered here, Pops. There you go. Go ahead and pick it up. Okay, a little bit wider, there you go. Okay, eyes are down, and we're gonna slow descent, bending at the hips. There you go. Up. Good. See if we can go a little bit deeper, Pops. Yeah. Good. And squat. Up. Good. Go ahead and rack it. Scale of 1 to 10 with your shoulders.
Say again.
Scale of 1 to 10 with your shoulder as far as discomfort goes.
3.
Yeah, so generally how I'm thinking about this is if it gets better, I'm fine with maintaining this. If it were to stay the same or get worse,
Yeah.
and we'll see how it goes with weight. How do you like the music?
I like it. Reminds me of when you were on the BMX bike, we were on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
were up there and they were...
That was more Beastie Boys than...
Yeah, they had you rocking out.
So we're gonna add a little bit of weight. We're trying to work up to a single set of 4 repetitions
Okay.
that makes you feel like I could probably do 2 or 3 more reps.
Oh, okay.
So not maximal, but hard enough to make you aware. This first set of 4, I'm still gonna tell you to squat each rep, so you don't get to squat until I tell you to. And all we're trying to do is do that same technique that you had before, all right? 2nd digit on the score mark, pinky under.
10 or 3rd?
Sorry,
doing 3rd.
sorry, you're 3rd, yes. Yeah, you can correct my anatomy.
I feel like the pinky is literally just hanging.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, it just frees up some shoulder mobility here. Let me just make sure that you're centered here. Move to your left just a little bit. Yep, cool. Good, eyes are down here. Big breath, squat. See if you can go a little deeper, Dad, a little lower. Okay, knees out at the bottom to get a little deeper. Yeah, I like that, fine. Good, one more like that, reach all the way down. Up. Good. I want you to do one more as a penance rep. No pausing at the bottom. Good. Rack it. Perfect. How is that on the shoulders, holding it?
Good.
Fine. And muscular effort-wise for your legs? Easy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go up a little bit. Again, our goal is to find something that feels heavy enough where you could only do 2 or 3 more reps. I got my watch going, so I'm giving you 2 to 3 minutes of rest in between sets. Obviously, it's not super taxing yet. Biggest feedback from the last set, and what I want you to focus on here, is not pausing at the bottom.
Okay.
We're just gonna go down and up.
Okay.
You're right at parallel, maybe an inch above parallel. That's an aspirational goal. I'm totally satisfied with this range of motion right now, but you know, if I suspect in our next few sessions and as you get more accustomed to doing this, your depth is likely to improve.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to do this for, again? Set of 4. Move to your left. There you go. Good, big breath and pick it up. Good. Eyes are down. And squat. Good. Knees out, a little deeper. Good. One more. Pretty good, yeah, rack it. No, pretty good. Our biggest thing here is I need you to initiate movement with the hips at the same time when you start. So at the start, knees and hips go at the same time rather than knees then hips. It's small, and again, for people at home, like this is not a huge concern for me. Participating is obviously more important than perfect form. We're gonna get there though. All right, Leonard, I'm gonna add some weight here.
It's a nice facility.
I like the facility, I like the equipment, I like the people for the most part.
Yeah.
I hate the music.
Oh.
That's how I know I'm getting
What
older.
would you like to have?
Silence?
Oh, okay.
Just something where it's not like, I feel like I can't hear myself think sometimes.
Well, maybe you can.
Yeah, maybe that's better. You guys at home might be also noticing Leonard has some sweet footwear and accoutrements on his knees. So those are knee sleeves. We have an article on knee sleeves on the website. They're not necessary. However, for people with either knee osteoarthritis, knee pain, and in this case knee replacements, they may feel better with a little bit of warmth and some support, but it's not really mechanical support. It's more just compression. All right, let's do this for a set of 4. Now, only focus, and I like doing this for coaching, 1 cue, hips and knees at the same time. I'm not gonna tell you to squat each rep, so you're gonna do a set of 4 on your own, at your own pace. Good, a little lower. Pretty good. Okay, rack. How'd that feel weight-wise?
Pretty good.
see, you guys notice it. Oh, yeah, that's a much different than the first 2 sets, which were, you know, you would say, oh, I could do as many reps as you want me to do.
I mean, I can do a whole lot more. I could do more sets.
So what I would like to do is get to a point where if that was easy, maybe the next jump is moderate. I want you to get to a point where you're like, that was kind of challenging, but not maximal.
Yeah.
So we'll add a little bit of weight.
Remember, first time.
Yeah, so you're gonna use this as an assistance, and I just wanna see what your depth is actually like independent of resistance. And so what I'll have you do is hold, take your squat stance and use this as an assistance, and squat all the way down.
You want to hold this here?
I would use hold on to 1,
Yeah,
and here's the thing though, you can't lean back far enough where you would otherwise fall over. So this is just like helping you.
Okay. So you want to just squat?
Yep, and remember, you're gonna bend forward at the hip, so hips go back. Yep, and can you go lower than that?
At this point, no.
Okay, great. So what I've identified in my dad is that that's probably as low as we can go right now.
At this point.
I suspect as knee flexion improves and as you get better at squatting, we can go a little bit lower, but the idea of harping on him, banging on him until you get an inch below parallel, kind of a waste of time. But the constraints that I'm giving you for your technique, I want a technique that's repeatable, that's efficient, and meets the points of performance. Those points of performance for this exercise for you right now is we have to get to parallel. And so, yeah, you could squat more weight for more reps with less range of motion, right?
Yes.
But I cannot rob Peter to pay Paul. You have to get to at least parallel, you have to maintain your balance, and we're doing it for sets of 4.
And the feet have to be perfectly flat.
Ideally, yes. That is if you're doing it correctly, balance-wise, mechanics-wise, your feet should stay completely flat on the floor. That means your heels don't come up, you're too far forward, and your toes don't come up, you're too far backwards.
Right.
So let's do this for a set of 4, again, at your own pace, and we're gonna see every rep at least parallel. Okay, eyes are down. Big breath for each rep. Good, hips and knees same time. Good, now, no pause. Yeah, pretty good, one more. Good, rack. Starting to get a little challenging?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think for today, that is probably sufficient. We don't need to, I've never explained to him what RPE is or any of that stuff, but I just want to get to a point where the bar speed slows down. To me, that represents a significant challenge for the rep scheme that we're doing. And given that you haven't been under a bar in the better part of a decade at least, I think that's sufficient for today. So we'll strip the bar down and move on to the bench press. How do you feel though?
I feel good. It's just that's something I haven't done since the Cody Miller days.
Yeah, shout out to Cody. What's up, man?
Cody.
But yeah, you can squat, but if you couldn't have done the box squat, squat to the bench, and if you couldn't have done the body weight squat, then we would not have done this. We would have done the leg press. I guess the least thing I can do is strip the bar since you wiped my ass for. All right, we're gonna bench press now. Now this is a competition bench, also known as a combo rack. So you would obviously squat from up here, bench from down here. The bench is removable. Since it's so close and we have this in the gym, it's fine, but a commercial upright bench would work fine. We're gonna do this for sets of 10. Now, when setting up the bench, if you had a commercial gym that had a fixed upright gym, meaning it wasn't adjustable, you're kind of SOL. But because we can adjust this one, we'll want to make sure that you can unrack the bar. Yeah. So normally I don't love demoing exercises for people because what if I do it wrong and then you've got to copy me? But this might just give everybody a lay of the land, give you a lay of the land of what I want you to do. So again, this is that power bar. These are 31 inches, these score marks are 31 inches. Generally speaking, I like most people to start with their pinky on the score mark. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put your eyes on this side of the barbell, and your shoulders and your butt and your head all have to maintain contact with the bench.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spot my hands, and I'm gonna grab the bar like it owes me money, which means you cannot hold the bar with a straight wrist. It'll fall out of your hands, right? And you don't want this, because then your wrist is a little overexposed there. So I'm just gonna grab it and squeeze it tight. Now, if you put your hand straight out in front of you and you squeeze it as hard as possible, you'll see there's a bend there. So you don't have to think about this, just squeeze the bar hard, it takes care of itself. Squeezing the bar hard, taking care of itself. My eyes are on the front side of the barbell. Bringing the bar, it's gonna come to rest directly over my shoulder joint from the side. So even if I started here, it's gonna drift there, and if I go forward, it's gonna drift back. But that's how we're gonna unrack it. I'm gonna aim to touch this somewhere on the middle of my sternum. As far as where on the mid-sternum, it depends how long your arms are, how wide your grip is, and where, and that'll determine where it's gonna touch. So we'll figure all that out, but we're gonna start with your pinkies there. Let's make sure this is the right height for you too, though.
Eyes gotta be right in here, right?
Let's put your eyes.
Front.
Yep, yeah, that's fine. I like that, just fine. Pinkies on the score mark. Yeah, that looks to be about the right height. Turns out we're about the same height. There you go. Okay, now since I'm here, you're gonna count to 3, and on 3, I'm gonna help bring it out. I know you don't need my help, but let's just say, ready? Your count. You're gonna count to 3.
1, 2, 3.
Good, okay, cool. Now, without moving the barbell, you're gonna try to bring your shoulder blades back into the bench. There you go, good. And I wanted you to touch right there. So that's too high, right where my finger touched. There you go, good. Okay, I'm gonna tell you to bench every rep. Bench. Okay, shoulder blade, hang on. So I'm gonna tell you to bench, this is a Simon Says kind of thing. All right, so I'm touching right there. That's where the bar is gonna touch you. Bench. There you go. One more, bench. Good, rack. Good, go ahead and sit up. So we're gonna do a set of 10, and the same thing, we're gonna try to work up to something that feels challenging, like you could do maybe 2 or 3 reps more. I know on the squat, we kind of artificially cut that, so you could probably do a little heavier, but not by a whole lot, especially to parallel for each of your reps. Your objective, should you choose to accept it, is prior to every rep, pull your shoulder blades back. This is a big source of contention on the internet and powerlifters. I'm not talking to you people. We'll talk about that in a separate video. But before every rep, pull your shoulder blades back and take a big breath. The bar path is gonna be wonky because you haven't bench pressed in, a long time. I'm not worried about that. We're just gonna make sure our setup is good and then we execute how we execute. All right, so let's do a set of 10 with the empty bar.
1, 2, 3.
Good. Shoulder blades. And good. 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 Big breath for each rep. Good. 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 5 more. Two more. 1 more. Good. Right. Great. Pretty easy. We can add some weight. Good. Go ahead and sit up. So same thing. I'm going to give them 2 to 3 minutes rest. We're going to add weight till we identify a set of 10 at a load that you could do a couple more reps in. So not maximal, just hard enough for the day. As far as why we chose bench press, we didn't have to. We could have picked a machine. We could have picked dumbbells. So if you have to work out with somebody, not with me, and you feel like you want to do dumbbells instead or a machine instead, it's all the same. I want a squat type movement, I want a pressing type movement, and today we're gonna do what's called a hinge type movement. You've deadlifted before, but today we're gonna do a different type of hinge. We'll deadlift the next time we come to the gym. 2 weeks from now, provided we're pretty consistent on the stuff, we'll probably add in some specific stuff for your quads and hamstrings, like isolation type exercises. But I suspect that having you squat, having you bench, and having you do, in this case, we're gonna do a hip thrust, so a hinge type movement on a single day is gonna represent more loading than you've been exposed to in quite some time. So I don't wanna make you too sore. And 2, I just wanna see how you do with it. So if you say tomorrow, you're like, I don't feel anything. I'm like, great. That means we could have probably done more sets, for example, and more exercises, but I'd rather be cautious here. The other side of that coin though is that I don't wanna underdose you forever either. There's a real risk too, right? So, all right, we're gonna do this for a set of 10. Big breath before each rep, and make sure to pull your shoulder blades back.
1, 2, 3.
Cool.
Okay.
Good. 2, 3. Good. Two more. Last one. Good. All right. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Good. Good. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good. How'd that feel effort-wise?
You feel more.
Yeah. Now, when you're going to pull your shoulder blades back, don't move your elbows.
Okay, am I?
All we're trying to do is just imagine, pull back against my hand. Yeah, but without moving your elbows.
Okay.
So put your hands straight in front of you, your Frankenstein. Pull back. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do this for a set of 10. You got to keep your elbows straight when you pull your shoulder blades back. Cool. Ready?
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Good. Good. Good.
Oop.
You're good. Good, big breath. Good, breathe. Good, 2 left. 1 more. There you go, good. So that's probably the level of difficulty that I'm wanting you to target on most of the exercises that we'll do together. it's not maximal, but it's hard enough where you're like, dang, I had to work.
I feel the last 2 or 3 are starting to kind of catch up a little bit.
Yeah, so you could have probably done 2 or 3 more, and that's close enough. So you can put your feet here. It doesn't matter if they're slightly toed out or toes straight ahead. I just want them to be stable and not move between reps. And I want them to be flat on the floor. So you're gonna click it, cinch it down, so it's against crossing over both hip joints. You're gonna keep your back and head flat against here. To get started, push your hips up. That unlocks the machine. So that's your finish, it's locked. Now you have freedom. And that's where I'm going. All I'm trying to do is keep my back flat against the thing and extend the hip. There you go, push it forward. There you go, down and up. Up. There you go. Big breath, up. That's 2. 3. Hold, good. Just pause briefly at the top. 5. 6. 7, one more. 8, good, and we'll bring this all the way back. All right, last set pops. You're learning so quickly, now you know how to get yourself into the thing, how to adjust it, how to rack it.
It has to do with the instructor.
Yeah. Broken clock, twice a day. There you go, now pull it again, there you go. There you go. Good. 2, good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, all the way up. Good. There you go. Good job. First workout, back in the books. I'm gonna try to video as much as I can of me training my dad the next couple of weeks. We'll see how strong you get, man.
Well, it's all in your hands.